many of you, by a show of hands, ever been in a classroom and thought to yourself, where on earth am I going to use this information? Well, 45 states are planning to adopt a new set of standards that are kind of try to get rid of this conception and put more emphasis on critical thinking and making connections across grade levels. Today I'll discuss to you about Common Core and its projected outcomes. I know most of you guys aren't in high school anymore, but pretty soon you're going to meet people who have just graduated from high school and are already accustomed to Common Core. You will understand and see if they are actually prepared for college and how it differentiates from your learning. In order to talk about Common Core, I'll first tell you about the standards of expertise and its impact on students. Let's get into my first main point, which is the standards. Common Core is planning to change the standards of English language arts and mathematics. First, let's get into English language arts. For my next set of points, according to the Common Core State Standards Initiative's website, college level text will be emphasized. And college level text will help students familiarize themselves with these higher level texts and also increase their vocabulary in order to increase their articulation and be able to use this higher vocabulary into their own lives. Second, reading, writing, and speaking will be the second point of emphasis. Students will be able to analyze literary texts and also be able to analyze informational texts in order to get information that will be used in their own reading, writing, and speaking. The last point of English language arts is evidence-based text. Evidence-based text will help students be able to inform and persuade, such as we do in this class, with this speech and in a future speech. And it will also get students to evaluate the sources in a much more effective way. The second set of standards is mathematics. The first point of emphasis is fewer topics. This means that a student will only focus on a short amount of topics rather than a broad expansion of topics. For example, in grade 8, students are only going to be learning linear algebra and linear functions, but put heavy emphasis on those two topics in order for students to understand completely. Second point is coherence. Coherence means standards being connected across grade levels and across units. Now let's get into my visual aid. According to the first problem, you must solve for the inequality given. In order to do that, you have to use division and subtraction, which means you have to use multiple concepts to solve the problem. For the second, in the same way, students must be able to determine the truth value of each of the 4 answer choices and also have to use different operations like exponents, multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. The third major point of emphasis is rigor. Rigor will help students understand higher level questions and also try to answer them more accurately in faster time. Now that I talked to you about the standards, let's get into the impact. The first suggested impact is uniformity. According to the California Department of Education, uniformity will be seen throughout the state of California. In most cases, students will be able to transfer schools or be able to move away from their city and still be able to learn the same teaching, because since the standards are the same, students will not be missing out on anything, especially the style of teaching. Also, according to the New York Times 2013, Associated Commission of Education of New York stated that Common Core will help all students who they affect be able to earn college level skills that will help open up more careers and also create an open playing field for all the students that are part of Common Core. Let's get into the second point of emphasis, which is individual approach in education. According to the LA Times 2010, 7 districts that agreed upon Common Core decided that the Common Core was in the best interest of the students. The 7 districts decided that it would best represent the millions of students that they cover in the state of California. Secondly, in the Chicago Tribune in 2013, an article stated that the U.S. needs Common Core because it will raise competitiveness among the students, not only for the students in the U.S., but also to compete with students around the world for college spots. That way, when they actually apply for colleges, they'll be more college ready than somebody who might be around the world. So today I talked to you about Common Core. I was able to tell you what Common Core was and its projected outcomes. I discussed the two main points of standards, English language arts, mathematics, and its impact in uniformity, and the idea of an education first and student first policy. This goes to show that critical thinking and questioning are the way to the future. Albert Einstein once said, "The important thing is to never stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing."